Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Diego Castro. American and Philippine troops have begun conducting joint maritime and air patrols in the West Philippine Sea. President Bongbong Marcos describes this as, quote, a collaborative effort between the AFP and the United States Indo-Pacific Command in the disputed waters. Marcos said the three-day joint activity aims to enhance the interoperability of both military forces in the conduct of maritime and air patrols. Marcos added that the goal is to enhance regional security and foster a seamless partnership with the U.S. in, quote, safeguarding our shared interests. The palace noted that the joint patrols are part of the series of events that have been agreed upon by the Mutual Defense Board Security Engagement Board of both nations. The joint maritime and air patrols will continue until November 23. An international security expert warns about talks initiated by President Marcos for a separate code of conduct on the South China Sea. Marcos earlier revealed that the government has started negotiating a separate COC with other ASEAN members as discussions involving China have been slow. He noted that Vietnam and Malaysia are among the nations he is trying to convince in these negotiations. However, in an interview on The Big Story, Romel Banlawi, president of the Philippine Society for International Security Studies, warned of the president's impatience in the ongoing China-ASEAN negotiations under the Declaration of Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea. Banlawi said the Philippines must be prepared to face possible consequences posed by such impatience in dealing with China.
If we are impatient in dealing with China, then we have to be ready to face the consequence of China's possible reactions to our initiatives. It is in the interest, it is in our national interest, and if it is in our national interest, so be it. But of course, understanding international politics, we are putting ourselves in a very difficult situation on how to deal with China and also with the rest of our neighbors in Southeast Asia.
The Education Department has announced a new policy designating Fridays as a so-called catch-up day. This is a dedicated time for students to catch up on lessons and enhance their reading and critical thinking skills. Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte emphasized the importance of providing students with ample time to focus on their reading proficiency and critical thinking abilities. The initiative was made as the Vice President expressed concern over not seeing improvements in international assessments. The implementation of Catch-Up Fridays will commence on January 12, 2024. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Aside from Piston, another transport group launches its own nationwide transport strike. Manibella's three-day strike begins today, also as protests against the government's December 31 deadline for jeepney drivers and operators to consolidate under the PUV modernization program. The group said around 200,000 PUV units will be joining their transport strike as the group Piston ends their 3-day strike, which started on Monday. Manibela said around 400 routes in Metro Manila will be affected, despite assurances from government that there will be no jeepney phase-out by the end of December. Manibela said they are not buying it unless officials agree to scrap the modernization program altogether.
Hindi ba dapat prenuhan, isuspinde, ibasura ang PUBMP para walang phase out? Hindi po ba? Yun dapat ang marinig natin. Binobola tayo, dinidribble tayo. Pinaglululoko po tayo. 2 linggo na po namin itong pinag-uusapan ng ating kapatid na Piston. Yung ginanap nilang tigil pasada kahapon, nangyari lang na talagang naiba yung schedule ng ating kapatid na Piston doon sa kanilang inilunsad na tigil pasada.
Negotiations are still underway between stakeholders and transport officials, and groups like Piston have expressed frustration over what seems like a deadlock with the LTFRB. But the agency says there is progress and that they are willing to meet 3 out of 4 of Piston's demands, namely the waiving of penalties, extending the franchise validity to 5 years, and revising the omnibus franchise guidelines. But as for consolidation requirement, the LTFRB says this is non-negotiable. The agency again emphasized that there will be no jeepney phase-out next month and that all stakeholders need is a petition to consolidate.
Just pass po your petition for consolidation. This is just a 1 to 2 pager petition po. Huwag nyo na humunang intindihin yung napakadaming technical requirements. The LTFRB will still allow you to fly and operate on January 1, 2024 onwards.
The province of Northern Samar is now under a state of calamity due to rains and flooding. In the municipality of Catarman, entire houses in several barangays were seen submerged in flood. Strong currents also made it difficult to evacuate and to conduct rescues. Disaster risk officials said river control in the area were also damaged, allowing water to quickly rise. Over in Davao City, up to knee-deep floods were seen along several roads in Barangay Kalinan, Poblacion. All barangays near rivers are advised to conduct preemptive evacuation for their residents. The shear line or the convergence of warm and cold winds will continue to bring rains. Affected areas include Visayas, Bicol, Mimaropa, Quezon, and Zamboanga Peninsula. The northeast monsoon or Amihan, meanwhile, will bring rains over Luzon, including Metro Manila. The rest of Mindanao may also experience rains due to localized thunderstorms. Let's now take a quick look at other stories we are watching. 7 more convicted witnesses against former Senator Laila de Lima expressed their intentions to recant their statements. In a letter, they wish to give de Lima and her family their, quote, sincerest apologies. Former President Rodrigo Duterte says he might run for senator or vice president should his daughter VP Sara Duterte be impeached. He made that statement on Monday during his Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa program on SMNI. And the Trade Department reports that over 150 stock-keeping units of Noche Buena products have posted price increases. According to the agency, this year's Noche Buena price guide will be released today. And that's it for this hour. Join us again at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.